Guys, it's Milton Andrade again, and I wanted to show you exactly what I'm looking at here at the flood zone. So I'm looking at the city of Fort Lauderdale, and if we look at the orange areas here, these are flood zones. The blue areas are the low risk flood AE zone, but if you look at these few areas that have no color at all, that means zero risk of flood. And so when we're looking at homes, that's more or less what we should be looking at. So let's look at the 33145 area in Miami. Here we have Shenandoah. And if we're looking at Shenandoah, you'll notice this is not a flood zone at all. So this is basically a zero flood risk. And if we head over to Brickell, you notice this whole area is at a minor risk of flood, but we all know that flooding has occurred on Brickell Bay Drive right over here, right off of the bay, but that's typically tidal surge. But this means that when it rains, it doesn't typically flood. And if we notice, we look at downtown where they're building that signature bridge, this area typically floods during major storms. And that's because there is a flood zone that runs north to south. But that's also because in this area where the construction is taking place, they block the sewers so we don't have construction runoff into the bay. That's actually the main reason why you have flooding in this area. We're looking at Coconut Grove. We'll see here, most of Coconut Grove is like 45 feet above sea level. So you can see how living on the coast gives you a AE zone, slight risk of flood, but all of it, the rest of it, not a flood zone at all. And this is going to give you a very good idea of what your risk is or where you should be looking. You notice Miami Beach is basically a flood zone. So it's hard to say that you won't need flood insurance, because you do. You need flood insurance everywhere on the beach. That goes without saying. But if you pay your property cash, then it's not really necessary. Depends on your threshold of risk. So guys, knowledge is power. Look at the FEMA flood map. Put in your coordinates, your address, your zip code, etc., and you're going to get the truth and nothing but the truth.